There is a magazine I found 3 years ago, titled, The World Against Us, published in December 2023. Therein were predictions or prophetic timeline made by D.L. Marshall. Honestly, the prediction of the global event timeline is unmatched. If you remember, Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 2023. This was a series of coordinated armed incursions from the Gaza Strip into southern Israel and is considered one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in Israel's history. I believe the magazine was still undergoing publication at that time, but everything that happened thereafter followed its timeline pattern. Though I had a 5-minute talk with him later on other matters, the first prediction was war timeline. On a significant day for the public, Hamas launch an assault on Israel. This attack is scheduled to take place on a day of importance, marking a deliberate and strategic move by the group. The camel's back, Israel, was broken by the Hamas strike of October 7, 2023. The second prediction was, the Prime Minister Netanyahu will take military action against Gaza. This happened on October 9, 2023. Here is where it begins to get interesting. The Prime Minister Netanyahu will attack and bomb Iran. This happened on June 12, 2025, months after the magazine's publication.
Israel will definitely attack Iran, and when that happens, you can expect that allies will begin to line up behind Israel and behind Iran, and this will cause the war to expand to other regions of the world and to other countries. If diplomacy is not well managed at the early stage of the war between Israel and Iran, then it could be one of the most devastating events in human history.
Next, he said, the Israeli military, under orders from the Prime Minister, will eliminate the nuclear threat coming from Iran. This occurred on June 21 to 22, 2025.
Yeah, like I said earlier, if it is not well managed, if diplomacy is not emphasized at the early stage of the war to ensure that they bring a ceasefire to the conflict between Israel and Iran, then if care is not taken, it's going to lead to a wider war. And when this happens, it's going to get expected to be a nuclear fallout. And should there be a nuclear fallout? Some of the countries you want to be, should there be a nuclear fallout, are countries like New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, countries in Southern America, Greenland, Iceland. I think then the Oceania countries. I think these places will be some of the safest countries to be should there be a nuclear fallout. Countries in Northern Africa, few countries in Northern African region, we get caught up in the war in the Somalia, Ethiopia. We can also expect to see Egypt enter the war. So it's definitely spread to some countries in Africa. I believe some events will be happening around the world in the next 4 to 5 years. And then for those who are Africans and who are not living in Africa or who are not residing in Africa, they have plus 4 5 years to get rooted in Africa. I can't go into details of the things that will be happening around the world then, but for sure what I know is that some events will be taking place around the world, and in the diaspora, if you are not rooted in Africa around that time, I don't think it will be. There are 4 to 5 years period of time to plan to get rooted in Africa.
Again, the timeline shows, Netanyahu will then go after Hezbollah up north. 2 years after the timeline publication, this happened on March 4, 2026.
think on the long run, the United States will pull out their military assets in the Middle East. And I don't think there will be a winner I don't think there will be a winner from the war in the Middle East. As regards Asia, when you look at the relationship between North and South Korea, it has not been settled. That is a trigger point. You also look at Japan, then you also want to look at China, Taiwan, Philippines, and the South China Sea. If diplomacy is not well managed, then those are trigger points. And when this happens, it will also be a very wide war.
Economic timeline. He predicted the global economy will slowly and gradually collapse due to sustained attack, and the holy war against the established Western rule. These are already happening. Many more global and alarming events are on this timeline, such as UFO, economy timeline, religion and societal devastation. There are dangerous times ahead.